Morning, folks. We're not prepared this morning at all. I was just blowing my nose then. I went, oh, great, we've got 2 seconds to go. Right, anyway, can you hear us? That's the first thing. Hopefully you can. This morning we're doing the build, perhaps the build of the century. I've left a flipping prototype around there. Bear with me. This is how organised they are. Hold on. There we go, I'm back. Right, we're building that this morning. One of them. I've tweaked it a bit. I've modified a few bits. This is kind of the final prototype build. I've actually just put the kit live on the site, so you can pre-order it if you want to. But yeah, we're building that this morning, so we'll see how we get on. Hopefully it's all going to go together all right. The only thing I've not done yet for this is prepared the actual wraps for the base. So I'm just going to cut some strips of brick paper because I'm not finished doing those in Photoshop yet. I'm going to rip, so we'll cut those out quickly. Might even get Tina to do it, perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, we're building that. It's the bandstand. Fingers crossed, it's all going to go together. So we're just going to get me glue sorted and make sure I've got everything that I need. I can't find my glue. Where's my glue? Where have I put that? I'm going to go grab some glue. See you in a second. Okay, right. First thing to do there. Good to go. First thing I'm going to do is prepare these wraps. I still can't find my glue. I've thought I brought it upstairs and it's supposed to be in that pot. This shows you how really disorganised I am. It was down by the kitchen, but it might not be there now. So first thing, I'm going to make up some 8mm strips of brick paper. These will come ready-made, obviously, in the final kit. You'll just literally have to cut them out. But because I've not finished doing the bits in Photoshop, put my specs on. Pound shop quality, or pound stretcher these were. But I can actually see when I put these on. So I'm just going to cut some 8mm strips of brick paper. So these will go round the bottom of there. Once I've got these done, we can get stuck in, and once Tina's found my glue, I've got no idea where I put it. I went downstairs to get it earlier and then obviously put it somewhere on my travels and completely forgot to bring it up. So hopefully she's found it. Did you find it? Yeah, thank you very much. Right, next week, so what's the Scouts thing? Be prepared. I wasn't really in the Scouts. I was in the Cubs, I think, for about 2 weeks, and then we moved house and I didn't go back again. So I'm not prepared. So once I've got this rather boring part of the construction done, we can whiz on and get the main build done. It's actually quite a pleasant build, this bandstand, and it's been the thorn in my side for the last probably 2 years now. But I finally cracked the roof on it and got it to work how I wanted it. And it does look pretty decent now. I'm quite pleased with it. Make sure there's 8 bricks on there. Yeah, 8 bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. I've got to get Tina to do a reading or something. Or something, I don't know. You talk about something while I'm doing this. I just need to cut 3 or 4 of these and I've got enough to do to wrap around the bottom. We can trim the sides off later.
Don't forget to tell me when you want us to do pictures.
Yes, I know. We need to get, with part of the reason we're doing this morning is because I've still not taken all the pictures for the instructions. So I thought, well, I'll build it live, then you can see how it goes together. I can do the final checks, make sure it's going to work as it's supposed to. And we can take photographs as we go of the various bits of the build using the instructions, which I've got to finish off this afternoon. And then, for anybody that does pre-order while we're doing this, your kits will be then ready to leave a bit sharpish. If you're a first-class member, you can get the usual
first class discount if you were to order it this week. If not, no worries, it's just on. We did set the price. I wasn't sure how to price this because it's quite a complicated kit in terms of manufacturing. So it's priced at £19.99. I know it's on the top end of most of our kits, but there's a lot that goes into it. There's about 7 or 8 sheets of stuff that come with this kit, and it takes quite a lot of lasering now. So the price is just set to cover our cost, basically. It's quite a complicated kit for us to manufacture. Right, I've got 3 strips of brick paper, so that should be good enough to do for that lot. There should be plenty. Okay, let's get started. Tin's got a phone camera thing to take pictures there.
Somebody's asked how much the kit is.
It's £19.99. If you're first,
said that anyway.
Yeah, sorry, £19.99. If you're first class member, you can save 10%, which is £1.99. So you'll get it for 17 something. 18 quid. 00. All zeros. Right, so we're using Elizabeth's old phone, which we reset to take the photographs, and I couldn't remember the passcode either this morning. I thought I'd locked out of it. Right then, first thing first, we do the base. So the base is made up of 3 parts. We have these funky looking octagons or octagonal shapes, and then we have a grey board piece, which we're going to use. We just use the grey board as our bare concrete base. The one at Tenby, which the bandstand's based on, is just a concrete base, I think, from memory. So we've gone with this. You can weather this with weathering powders, paint it if you wish, but we just do it. I'm just going to use the plain card, grey board card for this. Okay, so the base with these interesting looking cutouts. There's a bit of method in madness here to get everything lined up, because gluing this kind of Sputnik weird shape, whatever it is, together and getting it all nice and straight might be a bit tricky, for me at least. So what I've done is I've made some little peg things, or whatever the pegs, biscuits I suppose they're called in, woodworking terms. But anyway, like dowels or whatever. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on here. We're using the usual laser cut kit glue in the wet pot of stuff. If you take a photo now, just a quick one. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to line these up like so with the glue on, and then in theory should be able to just about press that. I think here it's quite tight, sounds like a duck when you squash it in, but that goes in there. Keep that piece in line, keep it in line that way. That goes in that way, same that way. So they're nice and tight, and you just poke them in. So take another photograph, push them in, and there you go. Rock solid base. That's not going to go anywhere for a long time, hopefully. So that's the base. Easy. Okay. Next up, we're going to put the grey board top on. So I'll turn it over and I'll get a photograph of that. And then I'm going to cover this in some glue again. Put plenty on. Not just going to drop to pieces. Okay, now we need to just make sure that all these holes are empty where the railings are going to go. There's one there that's not clear. Otherwise, we shan't get the railings in. Yeah, all clear. Okay, this is now going to go on top of here, and we do it this way. We've got clean side and dirty side. That's cut side, that's the top face. I'm going to do it that way so that I can line things up how I would like. Excuse my head if I'm getting in the way. All I want is this to be as central as I can get it on all of the different sides. Just going to sit nice and centrally. I think that is probably good enough. There we go. So we glue that. That's glued on there. Now we have a base with a lip. Like that. Okay. What should we do now? Shall we do the wraps? Should we do the wraps and get the wraps out of the way around the bottom, do you think? Yeah, get them done. Okay. Let's just make sure they're the right height. Yeah, they are. Okay. So now I'm going to trim these bits off. And then if we cut some strips of this, I'll say yay big. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 bricks wide, and leave a bit the other side. So if we cut them sort of that long-ish, which, just so I know, when I finish drawing them, so if I make them 50 mil long.
So we need some overhead lighting.
We do. There is a big light here, which you can't see. It's there. There's a big light there, but it doesn't seem to sort of do a huge amount. There you go. There is a bit of a light. Perhaps I need 2. I'll have to get set up with 2. We've got another one in the cupboard, just haven't put it up yet. Okay, so we'll do some 50 mil strips, and we need, as it's an octagon, we're going to probably need 8, aren't we?
David Chandler says, what do you do with the kits you've put together?
They sit in a cupboard, mostly. This one, when it's done, I don't know, to be honest. The trouble is, for actual display purposes, I could do with painting one. So when as I was going to say earlier, and I didn't say, I'd recommend you paint some of the parts before you do final assembly. Obviously this morning, because I'm not painting it as I go, this will all be a bare one. So the final version of this really would need painting, but I would recommend painting the parts as you go. So this one's going to probably sit in the cupboard and do not a lot, or it'll go to shows eventually. When we go to shows, I'll probably do another one, because I said last week we're going to do a market square kind of diorama thing. That one, I'll probably build another one, and I will paint that one before I assemble it, only because it gets nice clean lines then, rather than me trying to splash paint everywhere and making a complete mess. I've lost count now. What have we got there? 5, 6.
Jeff's asked about the first class membership pack, says he's still waiting for his. Which we're...
Jeff, surname Jeff? I think yours is either gone out or it's in the pile downstairs, which is waiting for catalogues to be printed. There's still, I don't know, 3 piles about 1.5 foot high.
Yeah.
4 piles perhaps on my desk, 4.5 foot high. I'm slowly working through them, getting them as quick as I can. So please don't panic. We've not forgotten anybody. Paperwork's all raised. We're just printing catalogues and getting them all sorted, and they will go out. So please honestly don't panic. You will get it. Nobody will be left out. If you do a membership pack, you will get a membership pack, I promise. Okay, so we've got 8 short pieces there, which are going to go over those joins. So let's have, photograph of those. And then we need I need 8 pieces to go in between here as well. And they need to be roughly, like I say, the actual version is going to have proper wraps, professional wraps. This is my, like I say, final prototype build this morning, so you'll have to bear with me with doing these. So they're 40 mil.
Chris Cox has asked, how about a recess in the base for a speaker?
Yeah, not a bad idea actually. I'd have to tweak some bits, but yeah, it's possible. In fact, what I must mention actually, Alan, Model U Alan, has just released a brass band pack with, I don't know how many figures are in it, 4, 5, 6 figures, something like that. People playing all sorts of interesting brass instruments, which would be perfect for this. So that's on the Model U website. I think he released it last week. not sure whether he timed it to coincide with this or not, but it was just coincidence, probably just coincidence. But it's there. So if you want a brass band to go on this Salvation Army or whatever, pop onto Alan's website. Right, 1, 2, 3, there's 6. There's 2 more. Then we can glue these on, and we're back onto the main construction. And I'm not using the safety rule this morning because that's around the other side on my desk, but I'm hoping that in the next creation of these next 2 pieces, I won't cut my finger ends off, and we can just get on with the main build then, and I don't really need a knife if all the parts fit, as I'm hoping. You see what I'm doing here? Right, okay, wraps done. Wraps are done. Right, we're going to glue the longer ones on first. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 8 of them. Glue these longer ones on first, and these go over these pieces here and into that bit there, like so. See that? There, like that. That's the plan. So I'm going to use Yoo-hoo for this, because I like Yoo-hoo for...
Is that Alan's? That's fine.
That's it, yeah.
Somebody's asked for a link, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a brass band on there somewhere that he's just released. I think Roger Lander said he just ordered some last night. Ready to go with this. So if you're watching, Alan, I don't know if you are, but they look really good. Right. Could you, yeah, picture that. In fact, I'll put a bit more glue on in a couple of places and it can start to go tacky. If you let it go tacky, it's easier to work with than when it all goes runny and horrible. It's not that warm in here actually this morning, so the glue's taking a while to go off. Perhaps it's better to use rocket for that. What I'll do is I'll get those on like that, and then we'll fold them in as the glue starts to dry a little more. It's quite chilly in here today, so. Good job you can't see my face when I'm pulling all sorts of faces doing this, concentrating on this. I'll glue a couple more on, come back. And roughly align the brick courses so they look like they make some sort of sense. As long as they cover the edges and fold into that each of the sections, we should be all right, I think. I was going to say, did you show Kate how to work the pan down?
Yeah.
Right. It's gone quiet now. Turn the fans off. I'll do the other one as well then.
Nick Falls. Good morning, everyone. Now I was sucking the milk out of my shreddies and forgot the time. I missed the start of my favourite show.
Well, you haven't missed a lot. Anyway, we're part way through. All we've done so far is we've built the base, which is 2 pieces of MDF that's locked together with these funky little things, key things, what do you want to call them. And then we've glued the top on, which is card. And then all I'm doing now is I'm working round, putting the first parts of the wraps on to cover each of these protruding sections and getting covered in glue mostly. That strange noise in the background is Kate ripping the ceiling strips off cellophane wallets. There we go. I'm just working these into the corners. There. Oh. I'm trying to keep them nice and squarish. Use the scoring tool to make sure they're up in the corners. Scoring tool, as I said last week, it's just a bare empty biro. So any old, this one's a big biro, but any biro without a thingy in it, without an ink tube in it, will do the job. Okay, getting there now. Fold these ones in. Not the most exciting of jobs, but it does the trick.
Gary, Mum was asked, how do you become a first class member?
Go to community.railwaymodelers.com. So that's community.railwaymodelers.com. Sign up for free. At the moment, you'll need to download the app because we had some twonk on there the other day who was signing up every 5 minutes with random, non-existent or made-up email addresses and spamming the group. I don't know how, well, for hours, being an idiot. So we've set it so now you've got to download the app. So at the moment, you will need to download either the iPhone or the Android app. Sign up for free to the main club. Then if you want to become a first-class member, you click on the menu, the burger menu, which is the three lines in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And then you click on First Class Lounge, and you should be given options to sign up. There's a monthly fee, and in return for the fee, you get a membership pack, you get discounts, you get access to all the downloadable textures and kits and bits and bobs that we do, which we've got some more coming this winter. What else do you get? Membership pack gives you your membership card. We're hoping to do some events at some point in the future. We're thinking about an open day at some point, but I'm not sure when. And various other bits and bobs. Oh, quarterly newsletter, printed newsletter. So you'll get it's a mini magazine at the moment. Hopefully over the coming 12 months or so, coming year, we can turn it into something more impressive. But it's early days with the magazine, but we're getting there. Right, last one, and then we put some in the middle then. So this is the most tedious bit of the build. The rest of it's quite quick. Right, and then what I'll do, while that starts to dry a bit, I'm just going to put a bit of glue in these ones because hopefully we can fit these other pieces in. Obviously, for the wraps and stuff, you can use whatever glue you prefer. I just like Yoo-hoo. I find it quick and easy to work with. Yeah, if you want to say the community, it's becoming quite a decent sized community now. I think we've got 4,500 members. No, if Dylan's watching, he'll tell us. 4,500 members in there now. And then the first class wise, I'm not sure how many members there are, but there's a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of good models, a lot of good modelers, a lot of stuff you can learn. A lot of people willing to share with us, share their skills. It's quite a decent resource now. Okay, right. What I'm doing now then is I'm gluing these pieces in here to completely cover the base. Now, if you can see that there, so I'm just gluing these other sections in the middle. Yoo-hoo's perhaps not the ideal glue for this bit because I don't want any glue to seep out too much. Otherwise it's going to look a bit silly. It's not working too bad. Rocket card glue or Pritt sticks perhaps a bit better for this. There we go, starting to take shape. Look, the base with the brick around the bottom. Starting to look half decent. What we've got left to do, 5 more to go. I obviously can't count because I cut 9 of them up. Downside of you is it's really stringy. So I'm trying not to get the stringy bits everywhere at the minute. Oh, there we go. Terry is late this morning. Thank you, Lola. We don't need Terry today, thank you. To get a picture of that. And that's nearly the main part of the base done. Let me move on to the railings and the steps. Now, the bit I'm most nervous about this morning is the steps, because I had to modify them because the ones I did on the prototype didn't fit at all. And I'm hoping they got them right this time. So they may not work still, but we'll give them a go.
Steve Cockles asked, is there a choice of blue engineering brick around the base?
There isn't, but there can be. There isn't yet because I haven't even finished these yet. But there can be, yeah, I can do that. Because, yeah, they won't use up much of a sheet. We've used 3 strips of this. So, yeah, I've got plenty of room to put a blue brick base on it, yeah. I did wonder about a stone as well, actually, so I might do a stone one as well on the same sheet. You can just cut out the ones you like. Right, there you go. I've gone with brown brick because that's what's on the tender. I'm going to sneeze now. I think. Oh, it's gone. Right, there we go. That's that bit done. So that's the faffy fiddly bit sorted. Okay. Now then, we have to glue the railings in now. You'll notice, or I shall point out, that there is a specific side where the steps need to go. There's 2 holes rather than the 4. So we need to make sure we use the 2 holes there for the bit where the steps are going to go. So for those, there are short railings, those pieces. Like that. So these are really simple to do. I'm going to double check they fit. Yep. I'm going to pop a little bit of glue in each one.
Around, aren't they?
Yep. And they go on. I'll show you. They go on so that the sticky out bits, these pieces, the tabs on the end, point towards the little crosses in the base. There, so they point outwards, and you'll see why in a minute. Hopefully. So a bit of glue in each of the holes, or as close to the holes as I can get it. Get the railings in. The glue will shrink and will change colour. It'll go transparent when it's in. Like that. Okay, so we're going to work our way around now with the full railings. These have got tabs on both ends, so it doesn't matter where they go as long as they point. They're just going to fit in here. They only go in one place, so you can't get them wrong. All you can do is get glue everywhere like I'm doing. And that's the gym opening their door. It's making Lola bark. Right, make sure there's enough glue on each one. The glue will go clear and dry and stuff. It'll disappear more or less. Okay, this is quite quick now. So if you, like I said earlier, recommend you paint these before you fit them. When you actually build the kit, these are really simple to do. It should start to take shape quite quickly now. With a bit of luck.
Galactic Fox UK has asked anything new for Engage.
There will be next week. This is my main focus at the moment. Once this is done, then we will be getting back onto the Engage stuff. Should be next week. Next week's a bit of a weird week. Not a weird week. It's Tina's birthday next week. So it's not a weird week. We just have random working hours because your mum and dad are down, don't we? Next week. So we're not in the office quite as often as we would be normally. So next week's... Don't know what that was. It wasn't me. Anyway, must have been a truck. Next week's working hours are a bit different, so I don't know how much I'll get done next week. As your mum and dad are visiting.
Just Tim that blue tree, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim says, I'm guessing this will be an easy bash into a merry-go-round.
Yeah, probably. I suppose it would be. The basics of it are there. Just don't, I don't know, well, horses, you'd have to 3D print the horses, wouldn't you? I wouldn't fancy doing laser cut. We can do flat laser cut horses, so from a distance it'd look all right, but it's probably about the right size for a merry-go-round. Okay, there we go. We've got fencing, look. Right, going to set that aside to dry. I'm going to try and make a decent job of these steps now.
Do you want a photo of that?
Yeah, please. Sorry. There we go. Keep forgetting to take photographs. Right. Steps then. We have 5 pieces for the steps. These need to go together in some sort of order, like so, I think. Okay, with the idea being that you glue them together in a stack like that, not wobbly. Obviously we'll glue them together properly now, like that, and then in theory those, yeah, they should line up, so we'll do that. Right, okay, let's get these done. I need SX02 for this, please. Me jiggy thing. Need one of them just because it allows us to, or helps us get them all nice and lined up. Look, so we'll put a bit of glue on the back of this one, and then push that into the back there, and then the next one. Now, based on these, we have about 5 sets of platform steps, which I've still not released, and I need to. So I'll dig those out. I can't remember what part number I was going to give them, but I'll find them and we'll get them live because it's really, really simple to build. But we've got some nice decorative steps with railings and things for station booking halls, what do you want to call them? Platform steps. Right. Set of steps, look. Yeah, set of steps ready to go. So now that's done. So this jig's just helps us keep it all nice and square and neat, you see, while the glue dries. Now put the railings on. Again, you paint the railings before you assemble it. If you were doing this for your layout, just because then you'll get lovely clean lines.
Martin Jackson's message to say that sorry he's late, but he's broken his hip and he's
oh crikey! Oh dear!
He'll be back with us next week.
Oh, that's Martin in Portugal, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the one that sent the card downstairs.
Oh right. Yeah.
I hope you're feeling better soon, Martin. That sounds a bit. How did you do that? That sounds painful. That does. I hope you get well soon. Okay, steps. We go with railings. Piece of cake. There. put those to one side. In fact, now we'll put those there. And we'll bring these over. Should we carry on with that yet? No, let's, yeah, it's all right. I'm trying to decide what's best to do next. Let's do this next, then we can leave these to dry. Okay. Now we've got to put the uprights in. And I've made a load of these yesterday because you sitting watching me do these for 20 minutes will be even more boring than watching me do wraps. So I made 7 of them up. These go together because it's laser cut, so it's flat. We can't do 3D stuff as such. We're going to have to make pseudo 3D, for want of a better word, parts. So these upright pillars are made from 3 parts, which simply slot together and glue. So I'll get Tina to just photograph 3 parts. 3 parts, there you go. 3 parts. So the way I do these is I get the side in the tweezers because otherwise I'd make a pig's ear of this. And I try and get them positioned in the slots, so the tabs go into the slots like that. Okay, take a quick picture of that. And then I run a bit of glue down there and turn it over, and a little bit of glue down there. So this is why you need your laser cut kit glue with your thingy fine tip on it, like that. So that's glued like so. Do we get a photograph of that or something like that? I can't remember what you took now. Right, so
Well, just without the glue on it.
right, I can't remember what we took. Okay, then the next piece, same again. Get it in tweezers because it's easier to handle it. And that one goes into the side like that, just slots in. The reason why I glue it afterwards is because if you put the glue on the tabs, they can sometimes swell, and then you won't get the tab in the slot. You'll be there forever trying to squash them in, and you end up in a bit of a mess. So we run the glue down afterwards, and the glue will soak in then into the joint. There, like so. Okay, leave that one to dry and do the rest now. So what we do now is these go into the funky little crosses on the corners of each of these bits. So we have the crosses there, look, and all that happens is they slot into there. So we'll double check the fitment. Make sure everything's out of the way. Yeah. The idea being here, look, that these tabs on the sides of the railings, can you see that? There, tab on the end of the railing sits up against this pillar. Yeah. What's a long comment?
Facebook user.
I can't read it from
I'd
here.
really love to design some plate girder bridges, although I've scratch built my own from styrene. I still have a liking for them in general. They'd be a popular sell, best mainly focus on side detail, inner and outer top side, additional centre girder an option, with a recess or ledge for the modeller to choose the 9mm thick track base as to allow width and skew angle positioning.
Yeah, all right. There's a problem with comments on it. You can't tell who it is. It might be Dave. I have a feeling it might be Dave. If it's Dave, morning Dave, who's really into his bridges. If it's not Dave, then good morning to whoever you are. But I think it might be Dave. Yes, if it is him, he does some really nice bridges. But whoever you are, yeah, give me a shout. Let's have a chat. Right. I'm going to slot these into there. Really simple. A bit of glue at the top of each of the things where these tabs go, just to secure them onto the uprights. Obviously, we've got 8 to do.
Martin slipped on wet leaves.
Oh, crikey. Blimey, well, I hope you're feeling better soon, Martin. So all I'm doing here is putting a little bit of glue in each of the crosses, and then I'm inserting these uprights or pillars, and then gluing them in the top corners just working the glue in onto those tabs so it's got it. This creates a really sturdy base then for the whole thingy bandstand. And obviously as it's not to we've got 8 to do all the way around, but we're nearly there. Don't forget to put your glue back in the pot between thingies, otherwise it will block up. Somebody emailed you the day saying they had a disappointing experience with their first kit, but 99.9% of that was because they didn't use the pot with the wet tissue in, and they left the glue standing and the glue kept blocking up. So it's key. Oh. Oops. Last one. Then we move on to getting the top bit done. That's the real test as to whether I've got the roof bits right now where I tweaked them. The other one went together really well. I just had to trim a few pieces because they were too big.
Alan Robertson says you can now see why it takes time to work out how the kits go together. The pillars are brilliant.
Yeah, this took a long time to get this done. It's one of those things that it's not supposed to be an arty-farty excuse, but some days you look at it and think, I just can't get my head around that. You have to wait until all of a sudden something clicks in your brain. You go, I know. You get like an aha moment or a eureka moment. You suddenly work out, now I know. And you could be looking at something totally disconnected to bandstands or anything. You look at something in real life and it suddenly gives you an idea as to how you can do a certain thing. So it just takes time sometimes. Right, there you go. That's the main base done.
Dave Mason said he's just signed up for the first class while waiting for you to finish the base brickwork.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. We'll get your pack. Dylan, get on the case. Get him his pack sorted, please, if you're watching. Right, top then. Top of the thing is made from 2 pieces of MDF. These don't have the alignment things in because there's a lot easier to align these two. So we want these two. Get a quick photograph of those two, please. Assistant. And we'll glue this together. Ooh, make sure the holes are free again of these because we've got to put lots of pokey bits in.
Martin Jackson says hospital beds and food are not on his favourites list at the minute.
I can imagine. I can imagine what the hospitals are like in Portugal. I better not say on here, actually. I'm sure they're probably absolutely fine, but I do like Portugal, actually. We've been to Portugal a few times. Must go back.
Andrew G's asked how long it takes you from start to finish to design your kits and which one took the longest.
This one took about 2 years. Now, the actual hours on it is probably, I don't know, a couple of days, something like that. It depends, really. Some things come together. I'm just drawing pictures, look, wiggly. Some things go together really, really quickly. And they can be a matter of an hour or two, and others take days and weeks. And this is quite an in-depth one because of making sure that all the parts go together as they should do. Okay, so we've glued that together. That's a two layers of 4mm MDF. Create a nice sturdy top. Before we can glue that onto there, though, we have to do the decorative bits. So we'll turn it over so you can see all the holes. And then one of these I did mess up yesterday. I forgot 8, yeah. It was overlapping another part, so it's got a couple of chunks missing. But you won't notice on this. The production version won't have it because I've just changed it all. I've just fixed that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just a tiny bit of glue in each of these holes. And then we're going to pop that. Did I say they were all empty? There's a one there with something in. There is as well, look. The one that got away. That's better. Yeah, so we glue those in like that. Hopefully, if there's no other ones with bits of wood in.
Alan Robertson says, now you've sorted the bandstand, what about a gasometer?
Yeah, that's round. That'd be hard. Really hard. Harder than this. Yeah, I'll have a look. So we're doing the decorative bits now. Look, on the top of the underside of the roof. On the prototype, these were a lot smaller, and you couldn't really see them. So I've decided just to make them non-prototypical, so they look more decorative and they look more impressive. So you can actually see them. Whereas, like I say, they were really small on the first prototype on that one. More like the real thing, but you couldn't see them.
Steve Cockrell says he uses clothes papers to hold stuff together while glue dries.
Yeah, good idea. I've got some little clips somewhere, but I always forget to use them. I'm starving again, really hungry. Porridge doesn't last 5 minutes. Ooh. That needs to come out on there as well. Anyway, hopefully you can see this is quite a straightforward kit. There's a lot of repetition, but it's quite straightforward to do. The roof is the most challenging part, but even then, I'm hoping that I've created something that is enjoyable for you guys to put together. Okay. Some decorative bits on our bandstand roof now, look, on the other side. Yeah. Okay. Now I think while we leave that one to dry for a minute, because I want to just make sure that they've gone off nicely, I'm going to start preparing some of the parts for the roof. So roof bits here. First bit is to put those into there, and we have some other triangular pieces to go on those. So what I'm going to start doing is just preparing those quickly. Top. What we have to do here is make a little, looks like a sandwich, which is not a good thing when I'm hungry. Put together a basic sandwich out of laser board, look. Just try and get it square, like so. And what these will do is become the roof supports for the sort of octagonal pyramid. If there's such a thing as an octagonal pyramid, there's probably a name for an octagonal pyramid, which is not that. But anyway, that's what we're making. So they'll become roof supports. So this will do 3-pieced roof support. These should have dried now. Yeah, they're all right. So I'll come back and do those in a minute. Okay, now, tricky bit. We've got to fit that into here. So I'm just going to check first that it looks like it's going to line up. Yeah, with a bit of teasing. So glue in each hole again. Okay, now what I'm going to try and do is line up these pegs here with the holes in here. Can you see?
Me?
Yeah, did you manage to get one?
Sort of.
You have to kind of tease them into position. When you get everything in the right place, all of a sudden it just slots together. Just got to encourage it to go in the right direction first. And there we are. There we go. Just gently push the tabs on the top of there into the holes on each of the corners there. So you can get a picture of that. I'm just going to put a tiny bit more glue on the joint of each one just to let it soak in. And I know it's got it. As you can see, it looks a bit more like a bandstand now, doesn't it? It's starting to get there. Right, that's that. So there we go. Hopefully now as well, we can test whether the steps are going to work, which I think they actually might. Yeah, I might do one more modification before the final ones go to cut later on this afternoon, which is to extend these back pieces so that they will sit underneath there. But that's an easy mod. I just need to score a mark on there so you know where to put the top step. Put the step. The height of the steps is fine and the position of the railings is about right. So yeah, one tiny mod before it goes down to production today. Okay, the principle of the steps is right anyway. These pieces then need to go into there like so. So I need to make up all of these now. Glue in each slot. Oops. In fact, what I might do is put glue on the bottom of them. Okay. Bear with me while I make 8 of these.
Gary Mann said he's managed to download the app and sign up to the first class membership.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Gary. You say you'll get Dylan to create your paperwork and you can we'll get you a first class pack off as soon as possible. If you want to, say the first class discount code works on a number of products. I'll put a full list up of the products that it works on at the moment. You can there's a code in the first class area which you can use to save 10% on a number of things. We do rotate them round. We do rotate the products that it's on offer for round from time to time. So what I'll try and do is put a new list up once a month or something so that you can then this is a bit quicker doing it this way, isn't it? We should have 8 done now. Yeah.
That's been as easy as starting. Oh, when you're nearly ready.
Nearly there. Right, that's one on each side of one of them. Now I need to whiz through and put one on the other side of each of these again, which we're doing now. Hopefully we've got enough parts. We've done that one. Oh yeah. So all we're doing with these is lining up the bottom edge and that back edge there, so we end up with a step on it. You can see that. And then there'll be a step both sides. And then the roof should come together pretty quickly if all the parts fit now. Like I say, the only thing I've found that I've got to modify so far on this final build is the steps. The trouble, you can sit looking at the computer for hours and thinking, yeah, that's going to work, that's going to work. Then you actually cut it and put it together and go, oh no, it's not, is it? Because I've missed something.
Peter Harding's just ordered one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Peter. I shall be putting the instructions together this afternoon based on the photographs that Tina's taken this morning. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's modular, so it's repetitive bits. You make 8 of all the bits, and then it kind of just slots together. Okay, got all these pieces now, these space pieces, or roof supports. So we'll put some glue on the bottom of each one and quickly get them into place.
Edward's asked, any chance of an old-fashioned fairground, helter-skelter sideshows, ghost train, etc.?
Oh my goodness. There's about 10 years worth of work there. At this level of detail anyway, crikey. It'd be good to do, but my God. Okay, these are just slotted in nicely, nearly done.
Roger Lander said there's room for a speaker in the roof.
There is room for a speaker in the roof. You could put one in here. Yeah, you could. Morning, Roger. Hope you're well. Yeah, you could fit a speaker in there, one of the little tiny sort of phone type speakers or something in there quite easily. Probably wouldn't need to do any modifications. You could just fit it in. You just need to run the cable up somehow.
Martin Green said, read the gasometer.
Mm.
Can the lasers cut slots part way through the laser board to make a miniature version of bendy MDF to get you? Yeah,
it can do.
Round.
Yeah, it can. It takes some doing, but yes, it's possible. Okay, quick photograph of me, whatever it is, octagonal star-shaped thing. That. So that's the structure, or the main supports for the roof. Now what we need to do is glue. Now, do we put these in first, or do we put them in first? What should we do?
You put those in first before
Did I?
doing the prototype, yeah.
Let's do that then, won't we? Let's glue those in. Okay, now we want these pieces. Those sit in there, and hopefully they're going to be the right size this time. They weren't last time. I still meant to make them a bit taller, but could be all right, I think. Yeah, we'll go with it. Okay, so these are just going to glue into that slot. All those 8 slots there. Sorry. I'm hoping I got these the right size this time, because when I did the first prototype, I had to trim them all down because they're all too big, too wide. Don't look too bad now. Perhaps want a 1/4 millimetre extra on them again, but they're there. They're nearly there anyway. What I didn't want to do is release the kit and find there's loads of things that need trimming when people assemble it, because you don't want to be faffing around trimming bits off. Okay.
Steve Cochran said, correct, it is an octagonal pyramid.
No, I wasn't sure whether it'd just be called a pyramid, but I suppose it is, yeah.
Or a funny H-shaped thingy.
It's a funny 8-shaped thingy, ain't it? My mind, yeah.
And it says, or it's a octahedron.
Oh, well, there you go. One of them. Octahedron, right. We have a octa thingy. An octadoodah, right. Then these now should fit up inside there, like so, to give you your roofy parts. Make sure I've got to flick that out again, so I can put glue on it. Okay, like I say, paint these before you assemble it all. And it makes it much easier to do, because I wouldn't fancy painting them afterwards. So I'm going to say something.
I was, but then I've realised why you've done it.
All right.
You glue down the bottom.
All right.
bits.
Just to strengthen that bit.
Mm.
And I'll put a bit of glue at the top there as well, just to hold that in. Okay, I'm just running glue, as Tina just spotted, just along the bottom of there, just to make sure that's... What's it? And we glue another one in. So we've got roof starting to appear now. Starting to come together. I'm just concentrating quite a bit while I do this. Make sure I get it nice and neat and tidy. Not a complicated build really, just lots of bits.
Mike Robinson's asked, as he's ordered the bandstand, do we have any idea when it'll be dispatched?
Over to you.
As quick as I can cut.
Yeah, quick as it can come. I'll have the instructions finished this afternoon. The final tweak, the only final tweak I've got to do so far that I found is, hopefully there won't be any after this, is the steps, which is a 5-minute tweak in the software we use.
And the different stones on the
sheet. The texture sheets. If I pull my finger out this afternoon, I can have that ready this afternoon to go down to production. And then it's over to Tina to cut the various parts. So I'd like to think the first one's going out before the weekend.
Well, yeah, if I start cutting them this afternoon, then...
Well, the base is ready. All the all the MDF parts are ready. It's just the 2mm grey board sheet I've got to change. And what did I say? What else did we say?
Texture sheet.
Texture sheet needs work doing, which is not very long. So far, all the laser board parts have been okay, so they don't need modifying. This doesn't need modifying, so that's gone together fine this time. Okay, so we have a octagonal doodah. Somewhere here, I have a photograph of the...
You said about them being taller?
Possibly make them taller, but maybe not. Probably not.
Are they not taller on that one?
No, because when you put that in, they're the same height as that.
Oh, I see.
More or less. Okay, another piece, another octagonal doofer. This one sits down in here. Time. We've gone crazy, haven't we?
11:15.
Quarter past.
5 past.
5 past. Oh, not too bad. An hour so far then. So it'll only be just over an hour, perhaps hour and 20 minutes to finish this. That's not too bad. So, and then we've been photographing as well. So if you, it's not a bad build at all. We've got some smaller kits that take longer than that. Okay, just need to ease these. There you go. Ease that into position. This is the upper roof support, I suppose, for want of a better word. And then we need these. Now, this is where it gets, this is the most complicated bit of this. You need to pay attention to the numbers on these parts now. And I'll show you why in a minute. We have some 3s, 2s, 2 1s. Should be, in theory, 4 3s. Is there another 3 somewhere? 4 3s, 2 2s, and 2 1s. Right. Okay. This is the bit you've got to pay attention on. But what if you get these in the right way? Hopefully, it'll all go together swimmingly well. Same as before with these pieces, but they're just a lot smaller, and they don't have other bits to glue either side of them. These slot into here, like that. So we go for number 1 first, like so. And then we go for a number 1 again, facing it. So we're building what looks a bit like a sundial. Well, it looks like a sundial at the minute. Excuse me. Breakfast repeating. So number 1s first. Right, no jokes now with number 2. Thank you. Number 2's next. Number 2 goes in there. The reason being, number 2 are slightly shorter than the number 1s, so they should slot into there and form a nice triangle thingy. Elizabeth would probably say that was a rubbish dad joke, that one. So yeah, that slots into there.
Ian Bennett says the lovely thing about modelling is that it fills time as well as space.
It does. So it's quite therapeutic, I must admit. I don't think about much while I'm doing this sort of stuff. Then you finish and you go, oh yeah, I've got all that to deal with, haven't I? Okay, so number 1s and 2s are in. Okay.
Big Evans has asked, is there a built-in speaker for brass band music to be played?
There isn't. We've had lots of discussion about that this morning. You could build one in. You could run the cables up one of the little posts, one of the pillars, I suppose. You could put a cable in. In fact, what I might do, just to be really kind to everybody, what I could do to the MDF bit, I could put a knockout in the middle underneath that can be removed if you wish to fit a speaker pointing downwards in there. You could run the cables up, and I could probably put a little tiny notch in there somehow. Or you'd have to run the, would you? What's the best way of doing it? I don't know. I'll have a think. I'll do something. I'll think of something quickly before we send it to production. Okay, number 3s. If I got my calculations right, which it looks like I did, number 3 should slot in there and fill in the gaps. So you've got 4 3s because they're all the same size. So the numbers are just because of the sizes. That doesn't look right. Why does that one not look right? Oh, it does. It's all right. Confused myself. Okay, so number 3 is going in. Get on. There we go. And then we're nearly done. Apart from, could you do me a favour? See the strips on those sheets there? Could you cut those out for me, please?
All of them?
Yeah, because they're the detailing bits for the roof. That's probably going to take longer to do than anything now, you know. Put those on. Okay. So that's another octagonal pyramid. Now we need the other parts to finish the roof off. So we're going to glue these triangles onto the top. Take a quick picture of that. So I've got that for the instructions. Now what we've got to do is position these pieces on here so they sit. You've got a couple, I don't know, it's on the floor down there. I'll get it in a minute. Okay, we're just going to cover the roof now with these pieces. You need to position these so they sit with sort of an equal gap between each one. Once you get the first couple on, the rest of them sort of fall into place. So it's worth taking your time just to position the first couple nice and neatly and straight. If you work reasonably quickly, you've got a bit of time to move them about before the glue sets anyway. So I've just positioned them by eye. So they sit reasonably on there. It's not looking too bad. Okay. Couple more to go. 3 to go. Picture of that actually. Run a little bit of glue down between each one just to seal everything up. Then we're probably 95% of the way there now. Maybe more. Like I say, you paint all these parts before you assemble it. It's all going to look nice and neat. Anyway, the glue will dry clear, and it should look pretty good. Okay, now edging for the thing. Now we've got that done. I'm going to do some edging for the roof. Quick picture of that. This is quite simple. We've got 8 sections. I'm going to try this now because the other one I did, the edging for the roof was kind of the same height as the roof. And I looked more at the original one in Tenby and thought there's actually a bit of a lip around the edge of the roof. So I've tried to add the lip now. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so all I've done there is glue this little strip on the top of that, so you've got a bit of a lip. Try and do that quickly for each one of these. As again, we need 8.
Nick Fort says, I finally signed up to the first class and now you've got a whole year of my silliness.
Thank you, Nick.
Steve Cockle said, bandstands always bounce the music down to the players, otherwise it is lost into the sky and doesn't sound out.
Ah, clever. Best put the speaker in the roof then. Oops. No, silliness. Silliness is welcome. We like a bit of silliness. Life's too serious most of the time. A bit of silliness is good.
That Box Alpha says we need a little mini Dylan with his nice new trombone.
We do. You're right. We'll have to get one of the Alan's figures and paint it up as a Dylan.
David Puncher, would it be easy to fit lights inside so it can be used as a covered market with the market stalls?
Yeah, I guess so. Thing is, you can, while you're assembling it, you can drill holes in all sorts of bits and turn it into, and run cables in. It's not a problem while you're building it. Okay, nearly done these. 3 to go. We'll get these glued on. And then we'll be looking somewhere. Like we've got somewhere near a completed bandstand. Apart from the roof detail, which we're going to put on in a minute. Which is probably the most time consuming part. Let's have a quick photograph of that and that. Like that. But hopefully you've seen so far it's not a bad build. It's nothing particularly complicated. There's just a lot of parts. And I probably spent 15 minutes yesterday assembling the pillars, post things. So you didn't have to sit and watch me do them this morning. I don't think I really assembled anything else. I just released all the parts from the laserboard sheet, apart from the ones Tina's just done. I didn't release those.
These long ones?
And yeah, you need 8 really long ones. Should be 8 long ones.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then you need 16 shorter long ones. Sort of. Right, okay, so we made those. Now what I'm going to do is going to glue this up around the side here, which I think should look all right, actually. So I'm going to align the bottom of this, of each panel, with the bottom of the roof part there. Hold it for a second or two. The laser glue on the side of MDF takes a little bit more to go off. It needs to be pressed a bit harder. It's because of the resins and stuff in here. It gives it kind of a seal, which then repels the glue a little bit. So you have to hold it for a few more seconds. Still glue's all right, just have to hold it for a minute while they set. So it's much better actually than the prototype, the original one, with a lip on it. I think it's more interesting, doesn't it, than the original one. I'm just lining these up with the edges of each face. Can't wait to see some of these painted up, actually, see what people do. Nice to see some built. Hopefully it's worth the wait anyway. 2 years for this to be developed. Hopefully it's worth it. be a driving instructor ringing for Elizabeth. Could easily be. Okay, nearly done. Wow, we have some edging on our bandstand, which looks quite tidy actually. Pleased with that. Okay, roofy bits now. Yeah, we'll need them all eventually. Yeah, unfortunately, there's loads of them. Okay, long ones should hopefully sit up in here. So this is just a roof detail now we're putting on. This is optional, you could leave it off if you prefer. It's where the steel sheets or whatever they are on the real one are sort of joined together. Obviously because I couldn't get aerial photographs or decent aerial photographs of the actual one, I've kind of made it up a bit as I go along. So if anybody's a roofer and I've got it wrong, I apologise. I'll try and be as quick as I can with these. Because it's not the most riveting of things to watch. I thought about making these fit with slots and tabs, but because they're optional, you'd end up with loads of holes left if you decided not to fit them. So you could just paint the roof and be done with it, really. I think it would still look fine, rather than fitting all these. But it's entirely up to you guys. Like I say, I'll get the instructions this afternoon and the wraps for the bottom, get those finished. A couple of tiny tweaks to the steps, we said, and maybe some sort of an option for fitting a speaker, maybe. Some sort of knockout perhaps in the roof. And then it's on to other kits then. Right, what we've got now. Got to work out what was what here. Is that those ones? Probably going to have to trim something, I think, somewhere.
Toby says looking good.
Thank you, Steve. Tart.
Tom Lauder says everything you've done has been worth the wait. All your kits are great.
Thank you.
Paul Sherwood says that looks fabulous.
Tar. Thank you all. I'm looking forward to seeing it on some layouts. It'd be amazing.
What inner measures, diameter and height? I wonder if you found a merry-go-round would fit inside. It's about 9 centimetres high and has a diameter of 13 centimetres.
Hang on, I'll tell you in a minute. I shall measure it. The internal face-to-face is around just under 13 centimetres, and the height is about 5.9 centimetres, so you wouldn't quite get it in there, unfortunately. Okay, I'll whiz around and glue these on as fast as I can now.
That said, have you tried some of the LX209 or 231?
What are they?
I don't know.
LX209. Oh God, what are they? I don't know. It's bad when you don't know your own products, isn't it? I can't remember the part numbers. Really bad. It's 231.
Could be balance of 209.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 231 probably. Okay, but all right. Okay, just adding some more detail to the roof here. If I can get these done as quick as I can, then we're done. We're finished. Should be done for whatever. What time is it now? Nearly half past. Should be done just about half past, maybe just slightly after. I'm literally just gluing sticks to here now to make it look like joints in the roof. So far they're fitting all right. Okay.
Nick Fawkes has a lovely build of loads of visual elegance, superb.
Tar.
Mark Wesley says great design.
Thank you. So I'm concentrating on these now. I've got to make sure I get these in the right place here. I'm going to make, because I've got these ones have got slightly slanted ends on for fitting up the sides here. Got these pieces.
Stephen Povey says it can take some painting.
It will, but if you spray the parts beforehand, if you spray your sheets, now the beauty of laser board is if you give it a coat of paint with from a rattle can, and you do it beforehand, you don't need primer with laser board mostly. You can get away with just giving it a good soaking with a acrylic spray thingy. So whatever colour you're going for, in real life this is green. The ironwork is green, the roof is green and white, I think. You can get away with just spraying the laser board parts first, give them a few good coats, heavy coats, so it soaks in, and it will actually sort of paint all of the edges for you because it soaks in. It paints the edges for you, so you don't have to faff about afterwards touching it all in. And you can get a good finish. So if you paint it all first with a rattle can and then assemble it, it'd be so much easier. What I'm going to try and do is on the instructions or kit map, I'll try and describe what to paint in what colour. And to a degree, certain pieces of the laser board are actually on sheets that can be painted the same colour. In fact, looking at this, that is a lighter colour, I think, in real life, possibly white. This is all dark green. So you could spray all of the laser board stuff in dark green, apart from these roof pieces. These strips that I'm putting on now. So I will try and see if I can split it up so you can paint it easily from straight out of the packet. Okay, we're getting there now. Nearly done. It's a cup of tea time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lady says you always prime in grey first.
You can, but you don't need to with laser board. You can. Anything else I would prime. MDF, yes, probably prime it. Laser board just accepts the paint straight away. So you don't need to. Can if you want, but it's not essential. Because it acts as a, whatever the word is, it's like a sponge laser board. It just soaks it up. So if you spray it with a solvent-based acrylic, it will just soak into the board. You get a sort of a satin sheen. So it's not super glossy. It's a nice finish. And it keeps all the parts the right size, especially for tabbed stuff. It's like your pillars where you've got the tabs that need to slot in. Keeps everything the right size so it all fits nicely. Okay, that's that bit done. Right, last lot to go is all of these. This should be fairly quick and easy to do. Let's have a quick photograph of that now. And it's the very last bit and we're done. Okay, so we've got to put these on now. Don't put glue all over the roof like I've just done. Oh, I can't do a straight line, save my life, look. Okay, so they should just now glue into there, which they do. Oh, no doubt, you'll be bang on. Yeah, look at that. My shaky lines. Spoke too soon. It dries clear and you won't see it. Like I say, this bit's optional, so you don't have to faff about doing this if you don't want to.
Right, wipe that off. I got rather a lot there.
That's alright. Better too much than not enough. So. Talk amongst yourselves. We're nearly done. Nearly done. It's coming together nicely now. These are a lot easier than them blooming I-beams in the KX26. I'll tell you that. We are nearly done. Oh, we need some more on that one.
Whoever says what's laser board made of?
If I told you that, I'd have to kill you. That's a trade secret. It's wood. It's wood, but that's all I can say. It is wood. There's nothing in it apart from wood.
Fantastic. Looking forward to this.
Thank you. Cheers, Steve.
He meant adding the station balances under the roof.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, it could be done actually. Could be done. If you were going to do that, I would fit them before you fit these outer pieces. If you're going to do them as a sort of your own modification, do it before you fit these pieces, and you can just glue them to the side, position them where you want them, so you've got the overhang, or whatever you want to call it, overhang, underhang, whatever, under there, drop, droop, whatever. I would do it then, and then put these outer pieces on over the top, and then you're going to have it looking quite nice. But that would make a nice customization, actually. It's good suggestion. I like that.
Tom Lowther says another fantastic build and a great morning entertainment. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Alec, Lancaster, take a lesson out of Blue Peter. Here's one I made earlier.
I did with it earlier.
Kicks over to my list.
I did with a couple of bits earlier. I did those, but thing is, I've got to do this is a live build of a final prototype, subject to the last changes. So I thought, well, I either build a prototype. I could have built this yesterday, and then I had to build another one this morning. Or I thought, we'll just do it in one go. We'll just do it live. Why not? So some of it is unfortunately slow and boring, like this. And watching me do really bad lines with glue. But we are 5 strips off of a completed build now.
Stephen Covey said try to think of a setting you can use this to be a decent sized layout.
Yeah, it's one for a sort of a town area or a whatever, because it's 150 mil across. It's quite a big kit. So you need a nice, decent sized market square or something like that. But it's based on the one at Tenby, which is in sort of the seafront kind of park, seaside parky thing. And it's quite big, actually.
Mike Robinson says brilliant session, great build, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.
Andrew Stevenson says, blimey, I think I've decided to tile the roof of my bandstand with a wrap.
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, you could wrap it quite easily. But there you go. It's done now. That was it. It's done. Wasn't that bad.
Paul Sherwood, what would really be the icing on the cake is a thin or weather vane for the top of the loader.
Now, you know what? I thought about that. We were coming out of the house yesterday morning and I suddenly thought, should I do a weather vane for the top? But I think I might do a separate kit of weather vanes then, because if I do one in this, people are going to go, I want weather vanes. Well, weather vanes could be used anywhere. So I'm thinking perhaps I should just do a set of weather vanes as a kit. Right. I'm not gluing the steps into position because I'm going to remake the steps in a bit. So I won't glue those in because, as you can see, they need to have a lip underneath them. But we have a completed bandstand with a 99.9% completed set of steps, which just need modifying ever so slightly so they work how I need them to. But there we go. Bandstand is done. I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed building it and waffling to myself.
Steve Cockle says none of it's been boring. Nick Hiller.
There we go.
Great build, loved it. See if I can find a place on my layout. Stephen Covey, as usual, quality quick. Kit, yeah. Quality build.
Thank you, Steve.
Bev Wolsey, fantastic, thank you.
Cheers, Bev.
David Puncher, brilliant build, thank you, Justin Tina.
Thank you, David, thank you.
Alan Robertson, great session, thanks.
No, thank you to everybody. Thank you. We had a good number of viewers this morning. That's it for the bandstand. I hope it's worth the wait. It's been 2 years in the making. We've done it. It's a bandstand. It's finished. It's KX045-OO. It's available to pre-order. It should start going out tomorrow. All the parts are right now, apart from those steps, which I'll sort in a minute, and the wraps. I'm going to put a little thing, optional cutout for a speaker in the middle, and it's done. Finally, I can rest now. I can go on and make other things. No idea what I'm making next, but we've done it. Thank you very much for watching. And yeah, what was I going to say? I don't know. Tina just waved at me, but anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. We're back. Try and get Dylan to do one next week, I think, because it's your birthday next Wednesday. Yeah. So we'll be off next Wednesday. So it will be Dylan's turn next week. Not sure what he's going to do yet. I might try and knock something up for him quickly that I can send up. And he can have a go at that then. So there we go. Bandstand KX045-OO done. And I'm going to get a cup of tea, hopefully. Ta-da.
Bye.